I'm currently on the phone with Jon Weiss. He's another musician that reached out about the current interview session. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Jon Weiss. I'm a professional sideman. I play tuba and bass and upright bass.
All right, perfect. So let's kind of dig in a little bit. Tell me about the details of when you first encountered music. What was the environment like, and what do you feel connected with your personality that kind of drew you into music?
Yeah. When I was a kid, they started band in fourth grade. I grew up in Granite City, and I was in a hurry. My dad had a real deep voice, and I wanted that. So when band was an option, I wanted to play one of the low things. I wanted to play tuba, or I wanted to play the bass drum, whatever big low thing they could give me. And signed up for band. I played baritone because it wasn't as big as a tuba, and I was not as big as a tuba. So kind of waited to grow into that, and tuba's been my main instrument since 1991.
Okay. Did you like tinker with bassoon or any of the other low-end instruments on the way up?
Well, no, not really. The band directors found out that somebody wanted to play tuba, and they're like, "Okay, that's great. You just do that."
Sure.
Usually, they gotta ask people to switch over to it.
Yeah, I bet when they find somebody that wants to do it, they kind of latch onto that and they kind of nurture that.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
So, that kind of leads us into kind of the next question of the environment that you began learning tuba in. So was that in like your regular classroom type setting for concert band?
Yeah. I was lucky that Granite at the time, and well, they still do. They've got a great program now. All the kids are like flourishing. There was one grade school band director, Mary Davis, and she ran an after-school band program that, once you got to page 21 in the student book, where you learn how to count rhythms and play Mary Had a Little Lamb, you get through page 21. And then you get to join the after-school band, and they met for a couple-hour rehearsal once a week. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. It took me about a year to get through the first 21 pages, and got into the band. It was the kind of thing, like there was a weekly check-in at the grade school, and like me and the other 4 kids who were in band at my grade school would go and have a half-hour lesson, and it was good, but looking back on it, it's as good as it can be. Getting a private lesson with a clarinet player and a drummer and a tuba and a something else.
So cool though, like small ensemble lessons. That's cool.
Yeah, it was honestly it was chaos, but it was good, and I look back on it fondly.
I suppose at that skill level, that could be a little chaotic. Yes.
Sure. But the after school band program was great.
So did you also do like marching band?
Yeah. Once I got to high school, I did every band they would let me into. Marching band, pep band, jazz band, concert band, anything I could sign up for.
And was that competitive marching band, or how did that work at the school system you were in?
Yeah. When I was there, we were in so the class ahead of me, which would have been the graduating class in 1998, they had 5 different band directors in their 4 years of high school. So things were like tumultuous in organization, and we didn't really know any different, and we didn't really care. But that was kind of the situation. Yeah, it was a competitive thing. I remember there was a marching competition at what was then the TWA Dome. I don't know if that's even a thing, like in that building. I don't know if they do anything with that place anymore. and we got fifth place, and that's as good as any of us had ever done. And there were people chanting on the buses on the way home, "We're number 5." It was, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Uh, Most of my friends were in band. I liked playing, but I signed up for all of these things as much as anything to go screw around with those guys when we didn't have to play.
All right. So let's kind of talk about how that kind of evolved into the rest of your life. Once you were out of school and out of that dynamic with the instrument, how did you continue to play the instrument?
Well, I went to college and studied music there. Uh, and I tried a few different flavors of majoring in music. Education wasn't for me, and I don't remember what I did. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But I took methods classes and learned how to play everything like a band director, and then forgot how to play a bunch of them. Studied music theory and composition for a while, and then I dropped out. But I learned a bunch of the music stuff there at school, and continued on. Buddy needed some horn work on a recording. This guy needs this, that guy needs that. And at the time, I was calling myself a piano and horn player. So I wasn't super well connected, and I would take anything that fell in my lap.
Okay,
Anything
so
that I could add to my resume.
it sounds like it was a bunch of like freelance stuff wherever you could get some experience. Did you ever do like community orchestras or anything like that?
Me and my buddy Gergen did a little bit for the Wood River one summer. He continued on with it. It wasn't that it wasn't for me. Like, I just had other things that I wanted to be doing besides that in that time slot of the week. I don't remember when they rehearsed. Like, it was a good band. It was fun, but I just didn't make time for it at that point in my life.
Okay. So tell me about how you did keep time for it. Did you start looking for other like kind of contemporary bands that were looking for a tuba, or how did you continue like to participate with the instrument?
Well, a bunch of years I didn't really have access to a tuba. And I learned to play trombone in jazz band years before. And this project, things come and go. But there were a couple of things I latched onto. One did some local work, and one did a fair amount of regional work. It was like an indie rock band, and I was the guy that played the bells and played this thing and that thing, and the guy screwing around in the background with the pile of instruments, and that was a lot of fun, and it was engaging. And it was around that time I got a tuba. My mom got me a tuba. Found you could start finding cheap new ones, in the mid 2000s. And she sniffed one out, and I used that in a couple of the songs with this indie touring band. And as much as anything, it was cool to just have it on the stage. It was one of those kind of things.
Yeah,
People played saw blades, and there was novelty like size bass drums. It was the whole thing.
I mean, at least you're able to find a gig with it, though.
Yeah.
So where does that kind of bring you up to now? What are you working on?
What am I working on now? I've lost track of how many groups I'm playing with. I went through my calendar last year. A good buddy of mine does like a once a year kind of self-assessment. How many new venues did he play in? How many gigs he got? And I thought, that'd be a cool thing to do. So I went back through my calendar and took a bunch of notes. And I played with 33 different ensembles last year, professionally. I'm counting things like Tuba Christmas and a couple of other things, but it's an honest 30. There were some things that I didn't include on it, and there's different arrangements of pickup gigs and stuff like that. But what I'm doing now started about 10 years ago. I was in the loop, and there was this skinny kid playing accordion on the street. And I talked to him for a minute, and he let me play his accordion for a minute. And he said, let's start a traditional jazz band. And I said, what the hell's that? And he said, and he kind of explained it to me. It was like 20s jazz. Like, okay, cool. Find me on the internet. And I don't know this guy. He was a nice guy. He found out I played tuba. And 6 months later, I got a random message from him like, hey, we got a gig. Like, oh, well, I guess I got to learn a bunch of music. So that turned into meeting and networking with a bunch of the guys that play old jazz around town. And it turned into a thing a couple of years later where I quit work, and I've been doing this exclusively for a bunch of years.
That's awesome. Making it full time. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Oh,
so tell me, through all that time of, working on this for so long, what has kept you motivated to keep pursuing it and find yourself here?
I've never really thought about it like that. I have so feverishly wanted this for so long. It just feels like second nature. It feels right. Like somebody gives me an opportunity to play, and I jump on it and work my schedule around that. I would prioritize it. Like I didn't even question that. Like gigs or friend's wedding would like win over a gig, but it's that kind of level of which one will I take? Like, I stopped going out to the bars with my buddies because I started playing on Fridays and Saturdays, and it just it was very natural to prioritize the music. I didn't even think about. I don't remember how you worded it, but I never thought about it like that.
Sure, it was just about the moment to moment kind of memories that have kept you motivated to stay engaged in like making music.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I love it. So it was just, I feel almost like I have to. Like I'm very compelled to do it.
Nice. All right. Well, so tell me where people can find the projects that you're in and check your calendar and come see you.
Yeah. Noteworthy things that I play in now. Check out sweetieandthetoothaches.com. We play jump blues. It's like 50s kind of stuff. Ray Charles, Louis Prima. I play upright bass in that group. We've got an amazing group of musicians that I feel very lucky to play with. 4-piece horn section, bari sax, tenor, alto, and trumpet. Got a guy that plays drums, and our piano player is just amazing. Chase and Emily, good friends of mine. They are the piano player and the singer, and they're both just wonderful musicians and wonderful people. And we've been doing a thing for a whole bunch of. This is actually our 10th year. We're hoping to. I'm not sure if I can talk about a whole lot of the details yet, but we're going to do throw a big 10-year anniversary party somewhere here in town at some point through the year. And I think that's just going to be a real fun show. Another one that I want to mention is the Arcadia Dance Orchestra. It was led by my buddy TJ Muller. He plays trumpet and banjo and all sorts of stuff all over the place. Lots of stuff here locally. He's got a radio show on 107, the classical station. I can't remember the fourth number in it, but yeah. And that's an 11-piece 20s jazz orchestra. We play every third Sunday at the Focal Point in Maplewood. And it's just a hoot. It's kind of a public rehearsal, but we wear bow ties. Like it doesn't look like a public rehearsal, but we invite people to come in and, bring drinks and dance, and yeah, it's a real good time.
Yeah, that's great. And congratulations on the success with it. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So what's a message that you have that you want to share with other musicians?
With other musicians. I don't know. I'll say this with a like a precursor, like a caveat, right? I think most of them do this already, but hang out and be cool. Like, yeah, we'll keep it at that.